Hi guys, today's video is one that I am super excited about because one of my absolute favorite brands that might even be new to some of you guys if you have just found my channel, but Musee Beauty came out with a new eyeshadow palette, and ever since I tried their Impressionism palette, this is the first one that I got from them, and it was the first palette that the brand ever launched. And when I tried this, I was so blown away by this formula, and when I said in that video that this is in the running of being one of my favorite palettes that I've tried in 2020, that is still the case because I feel like this is going to end up in my top 3 of the year, maybe even higher. I haven't really decided on like my order yet, but I need to sort that out because that video is going to be coming pretty shortly. But today we are going to be focusing on their newest palette. I also do have a code with Musee Beauty. I think it is Annette10. I will have it on the screen. It is an affiliate code, which means that I will make some money if you decide to buy anything. But like I said, I really stand behind this brand and I absolutely love everything they do. So they came out with their Van Gogh palette. Or Van Gogh. Van Gogh. No, it's Van Gogh, right? Wow, that shows how uneducated I am. Anyway, this is the palette that we're going to try out today, and this palette is $28. It has 5 mattes, 4 shimmers. Let me read you a little bit of what it says on the back here. So it says, Van Gogh, a reimagination of the works of one of the most iconic artists of the Western world. Meet the Van Gogh palette, a versatile collection of shimmers and mattes created for you to make your own masterpiece. Perfect for adding a simple pop of color or for crafting a meticulously blended look. This 9-shade palette packed with pigment has the range. And when I swatched this palette, it felt like the same exact formula as the first one, which makes me so happy because the mattes are so buttery and so creamy. They swatched so well. That midnight blue up in the corner, oh, I can't wait to try that. It is so hard to find like very dark blue mattes that actually perform well. So I have super high expectations for this palette, like way higher expectations than I probably should have, but I just want to get into this. I just want to play with this. I think that they did such a good job curating this color story. When I swatched it out, like it didn't look like anything that I'd seen before, even though when I look at the palette, I feel like I've seen this. Does that make sense? I just feel like these mattes combined with these shimmers is kind of unique. I don't know, but we're gonna go ahead and test this out. So I'm going to start by priming with my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base. And can you guess the palette that I used yesterday by my staining on my eye? If you guessed the new Melt Recently Deceased palette, you are correct. So before I get into putting these on my eyes, I need to put something on my lips because my lips are so dry, it's not even funny. So I'm gonna just line my lips with a ColourPop lip liner in another round. And then on top, I'm gonna put on the Little Jasmine cream lip stain from Udensai because I just love these. Much better. I actually have a Udensai video going up tomorrow. It's going to be a multi-palette bingo using all of my Udensai palettes, and it turned out, I'm not going to spoil anything. You're just gonna have to wait and see, but it was a super fun video and I hope that you guys end up liking it. So what do I want to do today? I feel like I have so many options. Like the combination between the mattes, even though there's only 5 of them, makes this palette so versatile. And there are so many ways I can go with this. There's so many different color combinations that I can use. This is so hard because honestly, I can do so many things with this and that just makes me so happy. So maybe I will do a bit of a yellow, green, blue look. Maybe that could be fun. So I'm going to start with the shade Sunflower and I'm going to put that into the front portion of my crease here. I'm expecting this to be very nice and pigmented, which it is, which makes me extremely happy. I don't know if I want to take this all the way. I think I'm just going to take this about half the way. Ooh, that looks so good. This is a beautiful warm toned yellow. I think I might just do like the obvious thing. Maybe it's not obvious for you, but it's kind of obvious for me. So I want to do a 3-tone crease and I'm going to go yellow, green, blue, and then do the same thing underneath my eye and then basically do yellow, green, blue on my lid as well because there is a yellow shimmer and a blue shimmer. So if I mix these two, they should make for a nice kind of green gradient in the middle. So I think that's where I'm going to go with this. I think that could be kind of fun. Plus it'll just give me a chance to try out a lot of colors as well. So I'm going to take a little bit of the yellow underneath my eye too, just so we can keep this the same all the way around the eye. And this is showing up very nicely under my eye as well. Next up, I'm going to go into Cypress, and like I said, that is going to go in the middle of my crease as well as in the middle underneath my eye. So I'm just going to start by packing it on where I want it. I love that this tone of green is just going to blend very nicely into the yellow. I think they did such a good job. I know I keep saying that, but if you had this palette in front of you, you would see like what I mean about there just being so many options, because there's so many things that can be kind of blended into each other, and like the colors work well together color theory wise. Like they pick the right shimmers to be shimmers and the right mattes to be mattes. Like, am I making sense? I hope so. I feel like a lot of brands don't really think about like what it's like to actually use the palette. They just think that they want to have a blue, they want to have a green, but they don't really consider the fact that some are shimmers and some are mattes and how that's going to change the way that you have to use the palette. But I feel like Musee always does such a good job with that. It's almost like they know something about art. Also going to take this shadow underneath my eye here. I feel like this is really nice green color to go with my hair, and it would also probably go very nicely with that green lipstick from the Melt collection. Maybe I'll switch to that one after. I just want to kind of see what the eye look is going to look like when it's all done. I just needed something on my lips because they were not happy, because it is quite cold here in Vegas now and my lips always get really dry in the winter, so just needed a little something. Also, I would highly recommend you guys following Musee on Instagram, because I love their feed. I love the fact that they post pictures of very kind of artistic but also doable looks. Like they're very editorial but almost in a wearable way. At least some of their looks. I just find their feed to be very inspiring. So I'm next going to take the shade here called Night, which is probably going to be one of my favorite shades in this palette. There's nothing I love more than a dark matte blue. Oh, look how pigmented that is. This makes me so happy, so happy. I just hope that this is going to perform well. I mean, it's definitely nice and pigmented, but let's just see how it's going to build up and blend out here. So I'm gonna take it on the outer corner of my eye as well. I might go in with a little bit of that sort of very dark grayish black just to see how deep I can really get this, but I can really see the inspiration on my eyes. Like I can see Starry Night on my eyes, and I just think that that is so cool. Just gonna go ahead and connect that with my lower lash line here. Not having any fallout at all, which is nice. Nice change from using the Melt palettes, because I just had so much fallout with those. These are looking really nice. The shade is so crazy pigmented that I'm having a little bit of a hard time like containing it where I want it to be, because it just keeps spreading because it's so intense, and I kind of love it. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna just work on the blends a little bit more, and then once I'm done with that, we can go in with some shimmers. Should I take a little bit of that very dark shade as well? I think I am. I don't know how to say this. Verse. Even if you try to teach me in the comments, I'm not going to be able to get it. Like if I'm going to really understand this pronunciation, a written one is not going to do it. I'm going to have to look that up myself. But the reason why I don't like to look up pronunciations while I'm filming is because I feel like it comes off like so unnatural. And if I have to take breaks like that, it's just going to be, I don't know, feel boring to watch. You know, it's not like I'm trying to be relatable or anything, but I just don't want to have to force myself to look up words just to pretend like I know how to do it. Am I making any sense? I don't know. I feel like some people just get really annoyed when I don't know how to pronounce something. I'm sorry. Listen, English is my second language, okay? I wouldn't be mad at you if you butchered something in Norwegian and you said it with an English accent. I really wouldn't be mad at you. I wouldn't be offended in the slightest, and it would almost be expected. But that really helped to deepen this up. I love how this is looking. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna put down some of my NYX glitter primer. I did find with this formula though, their shimmer formula, it doesn't really make a difference if you use a glitter primer or you spray it or you use it dry. It applies pretty much the same every single way you do it, so that's probably a good thing if you don't like taking an extra step like this. I'm so used to doing it now that I'm just gonna do it anyway. So I'm first gonna go into the lightest shade. I think I'm gonna start, actually no, let's go dark to light. So I'm gonna start with a shade here called Blossom. I'm just gonna do one eye at a time here. I'm gonna start placing that in the basically outer corner of my eye where I have the blues. And I'm gonna bring it a little bit in on a diagonal here. And then what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna take the lighter yellow shade and I'm gonna start that in the inner corner and just kind of drag this over and then create a bit of a green in the middle. So this is definitely the same shimmer formula that they had in their Impressionism palette, which kind of makes me happy because even though it's not like a special formula that you haven't seen before, it lays very nicely on the lid. It's still nice and shiny, and it just doesn't do anything weird or crazy. So I really like that. I'm gonna go into the Starlight shade now, which is the yellow, and I'm just gonna do that on the other side of my brush here. And I'm gonna put that on the front portion of my lid, and like I said, just kind of blend it over that blue to hopefully create a little bit of a green gradient. Just gonna switch to another brush here. I felt like the other one just didn't pick it up as well. And this is doing a lot better. This is gonna make for such a beautiful inner corner shade too, with basically any look that you do. So I love this. I'm gonna take a little bit more of the yellow and just wrap it around down to my lower lash line. I don't want to completely cover up that yellow that I have there, but I'm just gonna gently layer it a little bit over like that. And I think that's gonna be it for the eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off camera. I haven't decided exactly what I wanna do, my waterline or anything like that, but I'm gonna finish off. I'll be back, I'll show you the look, and then we can talk a little bit more. Okay, so this is the final look, and I really like how this turned out. Did I go a little bit heavy with my highlighter today? Possibly. I'm using Electric from Bitter Lace Beauty. I know I use that all the time, but I love it. In my waterline, I used one of the new eyeliners from the Raw Beauty Christy and Colourpop collab. This is in the shade Marigold. It is a beautiful, beautiful mustard shade. If you guys have been thinking about getting these eyeliners, I would highly recommend picking them up on the restock. I don't know when that's going to be, but I would recommend just signing up for notifications on Colourpop's website, and they'll probably send you an email when they're going to restock those, but the eyeliners are awesome. Let's talk a little bit more about the palette. I mean, to be fair, do I really have anything else that I need to say? I feel like I said everything I needed to say when I was using it, and I love this palette. I can't wait to play more with this. I'm already going to promise 3 more looks with this, and now I have promised 9 looks that I still have yet to film, so that's great for me. But I'm super excited to play more with this palette. I'm so proud of Musee Beauty. I know how much work they put into all of their collections, and even though they're such a new brand, they're just doing everything right, and I love that. I love how much time they really spend on like their promotional pictures and just everything that goes into like a launch. They really have everything down. They don't sneak peek things way in advance. They're just a great brand. I just love them so much, and I'm so happy to, you know, be part of their team. I did get this sent in PR. I don't know if I mentioned that in the beginning of the video, but I'm just honored that they even know who I am, because their products are so good that it's super fun to be getting them in PR and be able to try them out. But if I hadn't gotten them in PR, I would have bought this anyway, and if they ever kick me off their PR list, I'm going to buy anything they come out with because I absolutely love them. So like I said, I do have a code with them. I will leave everything down in my description box. This palette is available now. They also have some other stuff on their website if you want to check it out. So that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you want to see some other first impression videos on my channel, here's my playlist, and if you're new, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.